do this thing. Howdy, howdy. Uh, we are going to be playing the Walking Dead universe role playing game today. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. They had a Kickstarter for this. This is done by Free League Publishing. And they have a solo mode for this I've been wanting to try for a while, so I figured what better than to do it and stream it and maybe have some other people join. Looks like somebody's here watching. Howdy. Good to meet you. My name's Evan, and I'm going to be doing this today. So, this episode is actually the first episode, so yeah, it's a good time. This is my first stream. I did a couple of test ones on Friday to try and get it going nice. So, yeah, if you're watching, let me know if you can hear me. If you have any issues, let me know so it's something I can fix. I would appreciate that because, again, this is the first time I've done this, and so hopefully it ends up working out. But, yeah, so this is done by Free League Publishing. It's really, really fun. I haven't played the solo rules, so it'll be my first time doing that. But I have done a couple of like one shots with this. Basically, they had a little starter set you could get when this kick started, and I got that, and I've played it twice. This game's really fun. At least I think it's really fun. I'm a big fan of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, uh, but there are maybe not issues with the game, but just things I don't like about the game. One thing in particular that I don't like about 5th edition is about the time your players get to level 3, they kind of never really die after that, or if they do, it's something that's like kind of intended, like they're like, yeah, I want my character to go down in a blaze of glory kind of deal. This game I like because pretty much any session could be your character's last, and it's not something that it would be like, oh well, the DM just put us up against something that was insurmountable, like we were level 5 and fought a legendary giant dragon, right? This is something that it's like, no, just a couple of bad rolls in a row and your character can be toast. So this is a D6 system, which means that it doesn't use any D20s or anything. I really like this system. It's very nice, in my opinion, and very easy. Especially, like, I played through this with my kids who are 7 and 5, and like I just ran them through a little like fun thing that I made up one time, and they had a lot of fun. But part of the reason why was they didn't have to like roll a d20, figure out what the number was, and then add to it. They just rolled. How it works is, here, I'll show you one of the dice really quick. So it just uses d6. So all the numbers are normal on this one, except for the number 6 here, which you can see has this little bullseye. So basically, you make your dice pool. Let's say you're rolling like stealth. Stealth uses the attribute of, I think it's agility in this game. Let me look it up. Yeah, agility. So you would do however much your attribute is in agility, you'd get that many dice. So in the case of our character, it'd be 4. And then we have 2 in stealth, so you get another 2 dice for stealth. Roll all those. Boom. If you get any 6s, you succeed. There are ways where like sometimes it takes 2 or 3 successes in order to succeed, like if you're trying something really hard. But overall, really fun system to play. There's a couple of other mechanics I'll talk about really quick. One is stress. So this is based on, I think they call it the Year Zero engine that Free League does with a lot of their games. They did it with like the Alien RPG, Mutant Year Zero, I think is the name of another one of their games. But they're really fond of this system, and honestly, I really like it too. But one of the other mechanics here is stress. Stress is the exact same as a normal dice. You succeed on a 6, but it also has on a 1, you get this little like hand. So this is called messing up or rolling a walker or some variation of that. But basically, if you can like push your roll, which means you re-roll all your dice. If you do, you take one stress. There are other ways in game to get stress, like if you get attacked by walkers or if you get shot at or things like that. So if you accumulate enough stress, your chances of messing up goes up a lot. When you mess up, you can have it be as bad as you run out of ammo to as bad as you get attacked by a walker, and now you've got one shot to try and save your butt. So this ought to be a lot of fun. I am going to do a little bit of talking about our character really quick and kind of like what's happened, I guess, up to this point, when it's taking place, etc. So our game is going to be taking place a couple of weeks after the outbreak of the virus began. Our character, his name is Stephen Baca. Actually, let me grab his character sheet. So this is the character sheet. Hopefully you can see it. If you can't, just let me know. But Stephen Baca is the name of our character. His archetype, which is kind of like a class in D&D, is he's a soldier. So Stephen had basically got out of boot camp, maybe been out for like a year, maybe a year and a half, when the outbreak happened. He and his unit were called into Atlanta, Georgia, to set up a quarantine zone to try and help protect civilians. So they set that all up. But after about a week, the quarantine zone was just overwhelmed by massive amounts of zombies, walkers, and they were attacked during the fighting. So Stephen had gotten to know some of the civilians while he was working there, and kind of made friends out of them. And his unit was told they needed to retreat, and they decided not to. Well, all the rest of them decided to, but Stephen did not, because Stephen, he has a issue. Well, actually, it was Stephen and one of his friends who stayed, one of his friends from his units. So in this game, you have like issues. They're kind of like a little bit of like the background of your character, and sometimes they can cause problems, and sometimes they are good. So one of the issues that Stephen has is he protects the weak. So he saw the military was trying to pull out, and he didn't want to leave the civilians behind, so he stayed to help cover them. As he did, he had his friend, one of his friends that stayed behind with him, got bit and got killed by the swarm. So he has what's called a drive. All characters have a drive in this game. Well, all player characters, not NPCs. But his drive was, I saw my friend get eaten, and I won't let that happen again. So basically, once per session, if that drive applies to something that's happening, we can get an extra 2 dice to roll if we use that drive. It's kind of like inspiration in D&D. But while Stephen was fighting the dead with the civilians, one in particular named Samuel Carter and his daughter Denise and his wife were all together trying to escape. Samuel and Stephen had kind of become friends during their time in the quarantine zone. And anyways, Samuel's wife was also killed as they tried to escape the quarantine zone, and was killed right in front of their daughter Denise. So Samuel, Stephen, and Denise were all able to escape, and they left the quarantine zone. They did have a vehicle at the time. However, the vehicle was shot up, and they ended up hitting a few zombies with it, and so it kind of ended up dying while they were getting away. So they walked for a few days until they found our Haven. So Haven is a mechanic from this game. The Haven is basically like where your characters live. This is our little Haven sheet here. So right now we are at this Haven. It is the Villa, which is actually one I just took from like the core rulebook that they had as an example. So it's a 3-story wooden house with a wooden fence. It's got alarm cans set up on it, giving us a little bit of a defense value. There's food stored in the basement, a couple of other things, but it has some issues. It has a reliance on a food source that's going to deplete. It's a target for plunderers, and there's several entry points. So here at the very bottom of that, you can see our NPC survivors. So there were Samuel and Denise Carter. Denise is a kid. She was emotionally scarred by what's been happening because she hasn't grown up with this. And so, but at the villa before we got there was Daniel and Nicole Perez, who are married. They Daniel is sort of acting as the leader of the group for the moment. He's not very good at being a leader, but he's trying his best. And then after we arrived, there was another survivor who arrived, a teen named Betty Hall. And her and Nicole know each other. We'll kind of see how everything plays out. I will show you guys really quick. Let me pull it up here. So this is what they call the relationship map. When you make a solo game, you have a relationship between everybody. So Steven, that's our character, and Samuel Carter were friends. And then Steven feels responsible for Denise. And then, of course, Denise and Samuel are related. Daniel and Nicole are lovers. But Betty has a lot of issues with people in the group. She's a teenager. She's kind of being a teenager. We'll just say that. But she doesn't like Daniel. He kind of represents authority figures. She doesn't like him. Nicole doesn't like Betty because she knows her from before. And Betty feels harassed by Denise because Denise doesn't have any friends there. Everybody's busy trying to survive, and Denise is still a kid. And then Daniel, he knows that Samuel kind of has this issue where he wants everybody to stay together. So Daniel likes to kind of control and bully Samuel into getting what he wants because he knows Samuel will make everybody stay together. So really quick, I'll also show you guys our map. Let me pull it up really quick. So this is our map. When you make a solo adventure, you roll to see where people end up. So we are in this section here, A6, right on the very edge of the map, which is kind of unfortunate. But we know of a few things in the area that may be of interest to us. There's a farm, I believe, either here or here that we can go check out soon and hopefully find some way of getting a steady food supply. There's also a museum that we could maybe find something useful at, and there's also some kind of scientific installation, I believe, in this area here. So we'll kind of see what happens. We've got a bunch of rumors and things, but we're actually so that's pretty much all the backstory, I guess you could say, for what's going on currently. And yeah, we're just going to jump straight into it, trying to get a little run going. And yeah, we'll see what happens to our character. I fully expect that Stephen Baca will die eventually because, again, this game's very dangerous. But we'll see. Hopefully he lives a lot longer than we think, and we'll have lots of fun. All right, so if this is not the first session, decide how much time has elapsed. Roll for each clock on your challenge sheet and fill in a segment if you roll above the number of filled segments. Okay, so let's show that really quick. This one is our challenge sheet. So the challenge sheet has all the different issues of the people, but it also has some rumors. So we're going to roll for our rumor clocks, and we're also going to roll for our faction clock and see kind of how that goes. So we'll roll so I will say I don't have a dice cam at the moment, which is kind of a bummer. But I am planning on getting one soon. Hopefully we'll have it sooner than later, and then we'll have a dice cam so you can see what I roll and won't just have to take my word for it. So the first rumor is a prepper built a bunker in this area, and it's stocked with food and medicine, and that's area C4. So let's roll. We got a 1, so actually that clock won't change. The next one is a helicopter protected by an old man who is working on it, which is area H4. We got a 2, so we will fill in another segment of that clock. And the next one is a trapped group is slowly whittling down a swarm of walkers surrounding them in area I-9. We rolled above a 1, so we'll mark one of those. And then another one is this faction, the Firefighters. We don't know exactly what area they're in. We know they're around area 4F. And we know a few things about them. But they also, I rolled a 4, so they also get a segment rolled or filled in. So how it works is when those segments get full, then either something will happen or the rumor will then become old and may not be accurate anymore. All right, number 3, we ignore because it's our first session. Otherwise, we make a new rumor. Number 4, update our Haven project. So right now, we do have a Haven project. Currently, we're building a lookout post, which will give us a defense of 2. It takes 5 people to build it, and it takes them 2 days to build it. So right now, in the next couple of days, hopefully we can have that built so that our place is a little safer. All right. So that hasn't changed, though, so we'll leave it. Decide on a challenge and activate it. If a faction clock was filled in during step 2, this is likely to be your current challenge. So that's actually not, because they're quite a ways away. So we're not going to worry about them yet. We're going to worry on a different challenge today. The thing that we're going to be looking for is a vehicle, because again, none of the NPCs that we started the game with start with a vehicle, and we also did not start with a vehicle. So we're kind of in a rough spot there. So we need a vehicle so that we can start exploring the map, looking for people, and seeing if we can find things. All right, number 6, if appropriate, run a scene where the other NPCs interact with this challenge. Then we'll embark on the run and then return to the Haven, hopefully. All right, so we'll set up a little scene really quick. So right now we are in the Haven, and we need 5 people to be working on the Haven to basically get the project that we want to do done. So we're going to basically, Daniel, who's in charge, is going to be like, hey, we should build this lookout post. It'll make the Haven safer. And we're like, yeah, we're all for that, but eventually we're going to start running out of supplies. We only have a little bit of ammunition, maybe for a mission, maybe 2 if we don't use it. And we're going to need a way of finding ammunition. So we're going to need a vehicle so we can drive around and find the things that we need. We know several things in the area, but they're a few days travel away, and no offense, but I don't want to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere without a vehicle. I want to be able to drive out and get back to the Haven in the same day without having to worry about it. And Daniel's going to be like, yeah, that's a good idea. And Samuel's like, well, I'll go with you. Because me and Samuel, or Steven and Samuel are friends. We'll be like, no. Or Daniel would be like, no. You got to stay here with us and help us build. So Samuel actually used to be a construction worker. And so Daniel is going to be like, no, we need you to stay and help us build this post. Like, we don't know what we're doing. I was a stockbroker. But you know what you're doing. So Samuel will stay to do that, and we'll be okay with that. So we're going to go out on a little run. We're going to go looking for a vehicle, and then we're going to return. But we are going to try and be really cautious and careful because we don't want to get stuck fighting a bunch of walkers. That would not be good. That could be really, really bad. So what we're going to do is when you're trying to locate an object, let me see here really quick. I got to find my little cheat sheet. Okay, locating things and resources. If you want to find something, you can make a survival roll. If you succeed, we can find it. All right. If you fail the roll, the GM will still tell you where the item can be found, but something about the place or what you're looking for is problematic. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we are going to be looking for a vehicle. So we are going to roll survival. We have a 4 in wits and 2 in survival. So we'll roll a total of 6 dice. We didn't get any successes, so that's a bummer. So we're still going to know where somewhere is. Let's say that Samuel, our friend, Samuel's going to be like, hey, we were working on this job site. We were building like a road or something, I guess. Like we were cleaning up a road. But I know there's a couple of trucks that got left there before everything went down. So we're going to be like, oh, cool, great. We'll head there. He's like, yeah, it's even in this area. So we will stay in our little section of the map, which again is area A5 over here, or A6, excuse me. This is where our haven is. So he's going to say we're working on this road right here. So we're going to go up to the road and we're going to work on it. So now normally you don't have to roll to explore the sector that your haven's in, but we're going to roll for it because we haven't been there that long. So how it works is when you go, you get to roll scout. So we have 4 in wits. We have 1 in scout, but we also have a pair of binoculars, which let us roll +2 in our scout. So we get to roll a total of 7. So we're going to roll our 7 dice and see what we scout out. We did get a success. So here's what we're going to say. So we're looking for the place where the trucks are that Samuel talked about. So we're able to find that. We succeed. Now, because we failed on our roll to know about like locating the object, we're going to say there's an issue, but because we succeed on our scout roll, we're going to get to see what that issue is. So let me see here. Sorry, give me just a moment. That's not it. That's not it either. Okay, here we go. So we are going to roll for the theme oracle. So basically how it works is you roll 3d6 and it's going to give you a couple of like prompts that you can use to help determine what's going on in that area. So we find the vehicles that we're looking for, we look through our binoculars, and let's see what the issue is. So it's going to be 2 and 36. So it's going to be infection. So theme 2 is infection. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We'll say that over by the vehicles, there are walkers. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll a random threat level, and we're going to roll a random swarm size, and then we'll kind of explain those. So we're going to roll random threat level. We got a 6, which means it's threat level 2. That's not good for us. So we're going to pull up threat level, or the threat meter. So how it works is when the threat level gets to a 3, we have to fight whatever walkers are there, which means we end up getting into a dangerous situation. So right now we're at threat level 2 because we rolled a 6, which is not good. And we're going to roll for a random swarm size as well. Let me see where my little... Alright, it's going to be swarm size 1. Okay, so at least it's a small swarm. So how it works is there is threat level. So that's like how close the zombies are to you. Swarm size 1. That's the wrong one. Hold on a second. Swarm size 1. There we go. Come on, swarm size 1. Sorry. Bam. So how it works is, I'm going to make this a little taller. There we go. That ought to help. Okay. So how it works is swarm size 1 determines the size of the swarm. So swarm size 1 is generally between 5 to 10 walkers. So not that many, which is great. But this can get a lot bigger. or a lot smaller, depending on how we play our cards. And threat level, again, is how close they are to you. And at threat level 3, the walkers have noticed you, they start closing in on you, and they might try to kill you. So, I'm going to go ahead. So it says we've got one person watching, so I'm going to go ahead and put up a little poll, because one thing I want to do with this is I want to be able to, again, because everybody kind of gets to be a GM in this, we're going to put this up and so people can kind of see what happens. Should we look for another vehicle or risk the swarm attacking? All right. So we'll do option 1 is leave to go look for another vehicle, and option 2 is risk it. Bam, bam. We're going to start the poll. Boom. If you want to participate, you can. We'll give it a little bit of time because then I can kind of explain too. So we've seen the walkers, so we're going to say that they're on the road, but the area around the road is kind of wooded. So lots of trees, and it's very thick, and we can see a lot of walkers moving around in the area, but and that they're kind of around the car, but none of them have quite noticed us yet. We've gotten close enough to the vehicle that we can see all the walkers and stuff, but there's a chance we can make it through without disturbing them. So we'll see what happens. We'll say that several of the walkers here are construction workers. Maybe they're wearing like the same kind of shirts. And we'll also say that a few of them look like kind of just normal civilians that have been terrorized and destroyed. So, all right. Actually, we're going to do this because I'm going to test. So we're actually just going to risk it, I think. Vote. Whoops. Vote risk. See if that works. Oh, it does work. Okay. So, we're just going to risk it, I think, and try to get this vehicle. Again, this is something Samuel knew about. Let's go take a look. It is a construction vehicle, so good chance that the keys are inside. But we'll see what happens. All right. So now we're going to close this. Bam. And complete. Yeah, so we're going to risk it. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is we get close as we can without disturbing the walkers, and to do that, we're going to need to make a stealth roll. So we have 6 dice, and we're going to roll stealth. Wow, we got 4 6s. All right, so we're definitely stealthy enough. So we go down. So Steven goes down from in the wooded area around the truck, and he gets down all the way to the truck and pops the door open, climbs inside one of the trucks. We'll say there's 2 trucks there. So he goes inside, and now what we're going to do is we're going to roll a luck oracle. Let me see if I can find really quick the luck oracle. I know I have it here somewhere. Hold on just a minute. We'll get it somewhere nicer next time, I guess. Here it is. Okay, luck oracle. So how we do this is we can roll. We're going to say the odds of having a key inside the vehicle is likely. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll a double high. We roll 2d6 and we pick the higher result. If it's a 1, it's an extreme no, which means the keys are definitely not in here. On a 2 or 3, the answer is no. On a 4 to 5, it's yes. And on a 6, it's an extreme yes. So we're going to roll double high, see if there are. We got a 1 and a 5, so that's going to be a yes. So the key is inside the truck. So we grab it, but there are walkers around. If we start this car up, we're probably going to have to fight them. We do have, our character does have a pistol as well as a knife. So we find the key, but we don't know if the vehicle is going to start. The problem is if we turn the vehicle on and it doesn't start, then we're going to be in trouble because it's going to make noise, vroom, 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 and then we're going to get attacked by the bad guys, which could be pretty bad. So let's think what we would do. Here, let's do this. Okay, cool. All right, so we can risk it. We could roll tech to maybe kind of determine. We could get out and go to like the front of the vehicle and maybe check. But I don't know that that's the greatest idea. We'd have to roll, I'd say, at least another stealth check to do that. All right, tell you what. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go out. There's only about 5 to 10 walkers. I think we're just going to go out and try and kill them. So how it works is, well, maybe not. I think we only have ammo for like 2 missions is how I'm doing it. So if we end up using our pistol, then we're going to run out of ammo. So we might want to try and save it. I mean, we could do a couple of different things. Okay, here's what we'll do. So, Steven is at the car and he's just going to try and start it up. So, I'm going to do the luck oracle again. This time, I'm just going to roll 1 dice. And depending on what happens, it'll either start or it won't. So, the question is, will the vehicle start the first time? That was not in the box. Boom. It's a 5. So the answer is yes. So we start it up. We are inside the vehicle, but that is going to increase the threat level. So we're going to pop that up really quick. Bam. So it's now threat level 3, which means we have to fight the swarm. So we start at the vehicle. The zombies come out from the woods and they start coming towards the vehicle. So the vehicle could get damaged if we don't play this right. So we're going to do a couple of interesting things. So how it works when you fight a swarm is you do 3 checks against the swarm. Those 3 checks, you need to get a number of successes equal to what they call the swarm threat level, which is just the threat level plus the swarm size. So right now it's 4. So we basically need to do 3 rolls to get 4 successes. And if we fail, then the walker swarm gets to do some kind of attack against us, which is not good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our rolls. When you roll for a vehicle, you roll, I believe it's mobility. Hold on. I got to look it up really quick. Here we go. Yeah. So car gives you +2. So 2 for it being a car. And then we roll mobility, which we have 4 agility and 1 in mobility. So we're going to roll like 7 dice. So we're going to do a mobility roll first and see. So we're going to try and drive the vehicle. We're going to swerve in and out between the zombies so we don't hit any. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got 3 successes right off the bat. That's great. Oh, we do also take 1 point of stress because these they are now attacking us. So actually, we need to roll 1 more dice that is a stress dice. Okay, it's a 3, so nothing bad happens with that. But we do have 3 successes already, which is great because when you're fighting a swarm on your own, your first roll is normal. Your second roll, you roll 2 less dice. And your third roll, you roll 4 less dice. So the next one that we're going to roll is our... I think we could roll Scout. And I think that's because we're looking out to try and get past the zombies. Normally you can't roll it, but I'm going to say because we're in a vehicle, there's a lot of other ones that we can't roll. So we're going to roll Scout. I think that makes sense. We're trying to look for a path through the walkers. So normally we get 5, but we get -2, so we're only rolling 3 plus our stress dice. So let's roll it. Okay, we did get another 6, so we will succeed, but we also rolled a walker with our stress dice. So what happens is we are going to defeat the swarm because we did get our 4 successes that we needed. So the swarm size and the threat level. So the swarm size is going to go to 0 because there's only a few of them. So let's take that away. Boop. And that means our threat level is also going down because there's no more threat. Oh, hey, look, I didn't move that off. Boop. There we go. But we do still have our stress. And what happens is when you mess up in the solo, you roll to see what happens. So let me see. We're not doing random swarm attacks. Is it here? Sorry, give me another moment. Another thing I gotta go looking for. I will find eventually. Actually, I might not have it on here. So, heck, I got time. I'll look it up really quick. Because so far, this isn't too bad. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I've got my thing here. Let's do this. We're going all the way down to solo. So like 170. Bam. Sorry. Yeah, this part's a little less fun, but I don't even know if somebody's watching. It says somebody's watching. If you are watching, hopefully you're having a good time. Let me know. All right. Ba 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 ba. That's not it. We already prepared the. Here we go. The messing up oracle. All right. So we roll 2d6. The first one is a 4, and the second one is a 4. So we immediately roll to handle our fear. Our fear. We don't have fear. Let's go to number. Let's see what handle your fear is. So it is only the like 3rd or 4th time that we've actually fought the dead. So we'll see what happens. Handle your fear. When you play, bad things happen. Your PC risks being pushed beyond their limits. At the end of each session, the GM will go through the list of breaking points. If any of these things have happened during your session, you need to roll to handle your fear. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. When you try to handle your fear, you roll as many dice as your wits or empathy. Add 2 for each anchor who's still alive and on your side. You do not add stress dice. Rolls to handle your fear cannot be pushed. If you get at least 1 6, you're successful. All right. So we have a wits of 4. And we do still have Samuel on our side. So we get to roll 6 dice. We did get 1 success. So if you get at least 1 6, the roll is successful. You've managed to handle your fear. But if you fail, you're overwhelmed by fear. Roll on the overwhelmed table to see what happens. All right, so we're good there. Oh my goodness, that could be bad. We could lose our drive, so we could lose the ability to roll extra dice. Or we could become shattered, which would be like we end up talking to dead people or see dead people or think the walkers are alive, or we protect a special walker, or we want to die or become paranoid. Or our issue changes and we gain another one. We probably would have just gained another one of those. We would have had to roll for it. Okay, so that's good. All right, so we end up making it out of. So we get the vehicle all started up, we make it out, and we're driving down the road. Now, because of our successful scout roll earlier, we won't have to worry about getting stuck on anything, like a roadblock or anything like that, because we would have seen it. However, I will say this one pretty easy. We made it away from the walkers, but let's see what the fuel in the vehicle is. So I'm going to roll a double low. Does the vehicle have enough fuel to make it back to the haven? The double low says 2, 3. So it's going to be a 2, which is a no. It doesn't have enough to make it back to the haven, which isn't very far away. So we are going to have to stop somewhere. So we're going to do a roll to see if we know of any nearby, like, gas stations or anything like that where we might be able to get something. So we will do a survival roll, is what it is. So our survival roll is a 6 plus our stress dice, because we are still... Oh, we actually are not stressed because of our character's talent. We have Eye on the Ball. Relieve stress when enemy or threat is defeated or overcome. So we can actually get rid of the stress, which is good for us because stress can build up really quick, and that would be very bad for us. All right, so we will not roll a stress dice. Let me drop all my dice on the floor. Oh, where did that go? There it is. All right, so we're going to roll to see if we know. Yes, we do. We got a 6. So we know where 1 is. We're going to drive over there. So we drive over to a gas station nearby. Let's see what's going on at the gas station, though. Let's do the theme oracle again. All right. Theme oracle. So we roll 3d6. So the first one is going to be a 3. And then we're going to get a 66. So violence. Let's roll another one to see what additionally is there. 5 and 56. So violence and love. Oh, that's a weird one. All right, let's roll one more to see if it can break it up. 4 and 65. Empowerment. Those are weird themes for a gas station. All right, so here's what happens. So we go toward the gas station. We're going to say, tell you what, let's roll a scout roll really quick and see if our character notices. So here's what I'm going to say is going on. So scout roll, we get 4 plus 1. I'm going to say we can't use the binoculars because we're driving. So here's what I'm going to say is at the gas station. So on the way to the gas station, it's a place where 2 lovers had set up as like their place to meet, right? Well, problem is the gas station has some nice or not so nice people there who are not good, violent people, maybe some kind of like gang or just people who are not nice, right? So we're headed there. There's some not nice people. The lovers were there, but maybe the lovers were able to stand up for themselves. Maybe they've locked themselves inside the gas station, and the gang is trying to get in to get them. So that's what we're going to say is going on. They've locked themselves inside. They barricaded it up, and they have, let's say they have a weapon, and maybe they've killed one of the gang members, and that's how they were empowered, and also adds to the violence. Okay, so we'll roll our scout roll, which is 5. Boom, we got 3 successes. So we're driving up toward the gas station, and we hear maybe a couple of gunshots. So if there's some gunshots, I'm going to say that will set the threat level up to 1. Because that's going to attract the dead. That's just how it works. All right. Anytime that a gun is used, it always increases the threat level. All right, so the threat level is up. We'll roll for a random swarm size. The swarm size is going to be only swarm size 1 again. Wow. That's pretty lucky. All right. Boom. Swarm size is 1. All right. So we're driving up. We hear a couple of gunshots. So let's roll. So I don't think we're going to roll the vehicle in there because we just got it and we don't want it to die. So let's go ahead and do like a stealth roll. So we're going to stop. We're going to get out of the vehicle and we're going to roll stealth. So 6 dice. Okay, we got 0 successes. So we are going to push the roll. So we take 1 level of stress. Let me grab that really quick. We get 1 level of stress. And we're going to try and push that roll because we definitely don't want to be seen. Oh no. Well, we didn't get any successes again. So we're trying to be sneaky. We're coming up on the area. We're trying to look and see what's going on. And as we do, we're like hunkering behind a little dumpster. But we poke too far out. And just so happens, one of the bad guys is able to see us. Actually, they have to roll a scout roll. So let's see if they get any successes. He did not. Let me see. Can they push their roll? I don't believe NPCs can push their rolls. No, they cannot. Well, you know what? No, we failed our stealth roll. They saw us. So we come up behind. We think maybe they're around like another alley. We come out. Uh-oh. They see us. They go, hey. Let's roll to see what how they react to us, because we have a thing for that. Let me see here. NPC, not difficulty, NPC reaction to us. Sorry, give me just a minute. Lots of stuff to click through here to try and find. I tried to get as much as I could like in the same spot so that I didn't have to worry about flipping back and forth through the book. But even then, it's very hard to find exactly what we're looking for every time. I don't see it here. So let's do this really quick. Should be down in solo play. Oh, come on. You can do it. Computer, you can do it. Yes, I know that. I know that. Okay. No, not rumors. Not that. Not solo combat. No, that's not it either. Oh, man. I know they have a table for it. Alright, we're just gonna say, like, 1 is they come across friendly, and like a 6 is gonna be, like, they're gonna attack us immediately. They're very hostile. I know they have a thing for this. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Hold on. Uno momento. NPC encounters. NPC reactions. Here it is. Okay, so friendly or in need of help, cautious but curious, wants to exchange goods, blah, 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 blah. 3, they want to exchange goods, rumors, or something else. Okay, so the guys, they see us. Let's see, say there's like a D. Well, there's probably, I don't know. We're going to say there's like 4 guys outside and the 2 lovers inside. And the 4 guys on the outside, they turn to us and they're like, hey. And we've been seen, so we come out. They're like, hey. They're like, hey, we need to get these 2 guys. They tried to hurt our guy, and we just want to get revenge on them. You help us get these guys out, and we'll give you what you need. What do you need? I'm like, well, I need gas. I need lots of it. And they're like, okay, we'll give you gas if you help us get these people out. So that's all fine and dandy, but our guy likes to protect the weak. I don't think he would see these guys as weak, and probably doesn't like them. The fact that they're willing to hurt these people in the name of revenge. So here's what's gonna happen. Our guy's gonna say, okay, let me go talk to them, and maybe I can convince them to come out, right? So Steven's gonna put his hands up. He's gonna walk towards the building. Let's see how they kind of react to him. They're scared and ready to flee, hide, or defend themselves. So they're not straight up attacking us, which is good. Okay, so we walk up. And we're like, hey, I don't want to hurt you. Just want to talk. So the people inside, tell you what, we'll roll on our little NPC encounter table. Boom. 32. Oh, good. It's even two people. It's Roger Hammond and we'll say it's, well, they're lovers. We'll say Kate Wilson. So Roger is a soldier and he's got a lot of good things. And Kate, okay, it says they have an issue. They're traumatized and carrying their mortally wounded friend. They do have an assault rifle, pistols, knives, some rations, and survival gear. So if we could get these people to come back with us, that'd be pretty good. All right, so we walk up. Hey, I don't want to hurt you. Look, these guys, they just want you to come out. Like, you killed their friend. It's not a very nice thing to do. And they are like, hey, well, they tried to attack us first. So we're going to have them roll, like, we'll have them roll, like, manipulation. Okay, they succeed. So they convince us that, yeah, that's actually what happened. Whether it is or isn't, up for interpretation. So they convince us, yeah, they tried to attack us first. And I'm like, hey, I'm military too. So our guy actually walks around wearing old military fatigues. So they look at him kind of suspiciously, but they're like, yeah, who are you with? And Steven's going to give out his, like, the name of his platoon or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, you guys were stationed in Atlanta, right? Steven's like, yeah, that's exactly where it was when this went down. They're like, hey, what happened to the rest of your platoon? Don't know, we got separated. They're like, well, look, we got a guy in here. He's wounded. He's mortally wounded. Let me see what kind of wound he has. I'm actually going to roll on. So there's a table. It's called the critical injury table. I'm going to roll like 2 times and take the higher result. So the first one is a 42, severe internal bleeding. And the next one is a 25, which is a broken ribs. Not as bad. So the bad thing, so their friend they have with them, it has severe internal bleeding. He will die in a few hours if he doesn't get basic medical care, but we actually have basic medical gear with us. Because, like I said, Steven was training to become a medic, so he actually got to start. He actually rolled well enough to have one of those to start with. So we actually have the stuff to maybe even save their mortally wounded friend. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we are going to say, hey, you guys got weapons? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let me in, and then we'll kill these guys who are trying to hurt you, and then we'll get the heck out of here. I got a vehicle, I got a place we can go, and I might even be able to fix up your friend. And they're like, really? You would do that for us? I'm like, yeah. You guys are fellow soldiers, right? They're like, yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna turn to the other guys behind us. I'm gonna roll a manipulation roll against them. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm just gonna go in and talk to them. Oh, I only have 2 in manipulation, but I do get 1 stress dice, so we'll see what happens. I did not succeed, and I'm not gonna push the roll because I don't think it's worth it. So we are going to go to combat against these guys, which is going to be not good. So we're going to fight them. All right, so there are four of them, four bad guys. Then there are two guys inside, Roger and Kate Wilson. Or sorry, Roger Hammond and Kate Wilson. And then their mortally wounded friend. All right. So they have an assault rifle and pistols. So one of them's going to use the assault rifle, one of them's going to use the pistol. We're going to hop in and we're going to use our pistol and we're going to do combat. So how it works is, let me go to combat. This one. Okay. So we are not doing a duel and that. Okay, so we're going to say that these guys are all standard or trained in combat. All the guys we're fighting. So we are going to do this. Bam, 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 bam. Let me just double check one more thing. Okay, so yeah, we just do normal combat. So we're doing a brawl. So the first thing is everybody gets to take cover. We did not get to take cover because we weren't able to get inside. But I'm going to say our other guys are already in cover. So we are going to actually try to get into cover. So we get to roll mobility. So we roll 5 dice. We are stressed. And we're going to try and jump into cover because it makes us harder to hit. We got 3 successes and no mess ups. So we indeed are going to immediately jump into cover. I'm going to say one of the bad guy NPCs is going to try and take cover. So he's going to roll mobility. He fails, so he will not be in cover until the end of the turn. Then we go to ranged combat. So we're going to have our soldier and his wife are going to shoot. They're each going to shoot at a different bad guy, and those 2 bad guys are going to shoot back. One of the additional bad guys is going to take a shot at us. So that roll is going to be unopposed. Oh, I guess I should roll to see if they... No, we'll just say they all have guns. It's fine. All right. So the first one's going to shoot at us with his little pistol. He gets 6 dice, but it takes 2 to hit us because we're in cover. He rolls 0 successes, so we don't have to worry about it. The other 2 rolls are going to be opposed rolls. So the bad guys are going to roll 6 dice because they both have pistols. But our guy, let's see. So Roger is expert in ranged combat, which means he gets... So the way NPCs work is normally they roll 4 dice. If they're skilled, they roll 5. If they're expert, they roll 8. And if they're a master, they roll 10. So he's an expert in ranged combat. So he's going to roll 8. Plus, he's going to roll 3 additional for his assault rifle. He got 2 successes. And the bad guy who rolls 6 dice got no successes. So how it works is he would deal 2 damage with his assault weapon. And then he gets to deal 1 extra damage with his extra success. So he deals 3 damage, and the way it works in this game is all NPCs and PCs have 3 health. So Roger pops up with his assault rifle, shoots, kills the guy that was shooting at him. Then his wife is going to pop up. She is not trained in weapon, or not his wife, his lover. So they're going to roll 6 dice, or she's going to roll 6 dice versus the 6 dice of the bad guy. So the bad guy's going to roll 6. He got no successes, and she got 1 success. Pistols do 2 damage, so she's going to deal 2 damage to the 1 bad guy. So we've got 3 bad guys left, 1 that's getting into cover, and 1 that's taken 2 damage. And then we've got us 3 left. Now, that will be the end of combat because everybody has taken their turn. And then we will go back to the start. So we would do taking cover. We don't need to take cover, so we're good. Then we're going to go to range combat. We pull out our pistol. Oh, the swarm or the threat level is going to go up from all the shooting. So the way it works is the threat level, it's not going to go up like every single time you fire. Usually it's only like when there's a new shooting. So this whole our whole combat thing will increase it by once because everybody shot their gun. So now we have a choice. We could shoot. Well, actually, these people are going to have some ammo with them because they're soldiers. They've got stuff. So we're actually okay, I think, using our ammunition. So take cover. One of their bad guys is in cover, and then we're going to fight. So, ranged combat, we're going to tell Roger, we're say, hey, you take out the guy who got in cover, I'll get this other one. So, we're going to shoot at one, we're going to shoot at one of the ones out of cover. Roger's going to shoot at one of the ones in cover. So we will roll 4 agility, 2 ranged combat, and then our pistol gives us another 2. So we roll 8 dice. So we're going to roll 8 dice versus one of the ones not in cover. They are not going to try to go into cover. They're just going to shoot at us. So they're going to shoot. They got 0 successes. We're going to shoot. We got 2 successes. So with our pistol, that does 3 damage, and we kill another one. So there's only 2 left. So then we're going to do the combat between our other guy who's expert, so he gets 8 plus 3 for his assault weapon, versus the 6 of the guy in cover. But our guy needs an extra success to hit him. Holy crap. Yeah, sure. So I don't think I have a Discord right now. Oh, I see. I'll add yours. Yeah, I can do that. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Just so you know, I am planning on streaming Tuesday through Friday about this time, like 7:30 to 8:30, probably a little past 8:30. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'll hit you up on Discord. Very cool. Glad you could join me. I think you're the only one, but cool with me. So anyway, we're gonna have our guy shoot. The other guy's in cover, so he needs an extra success. And the bad guy got 4 successes. So he needs at least a couple or he's gonna die. Oh my goodness. Well, that blows. Alright, so what happens is he gets shot right in the face. So Roger gets 0 successes. He's in cover, which is going to take 1 away from the bad guy. But the bad guy still has 3 successes left. So he does 2 damage plus another 2. That's 4 damage to Roger. So Roger pops up with his assault weapon, goes to shoot, or his assault rifle goes to shoot, and boom, takes it right through the dome. He's dead, which sucks. Kate is going to see him die, and she's going to have to roll to handle her fear because he died. So we did, oh man, we did this earlier. I got to find it again. This is definitely one I'm going to have to save later. Handle your fear. I'm going to have to remember that. But anyway, so she has to roll to handle her fear to see what happens because her lover just got his brains blown out. Oh boy, that sucks. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Handle your fear. She rolls her wits or her empathy. We're going to say that she... Oh. So for an NPC, technically it would be like 3 only. Yeah, we're going to say... Well, we'll just say she gets to roll 4. Because the NPCs, they always basically get to roll 4. So she's trying to handle her fear. She doesn't. She's going to break down. She's crying. So she still gets to shoot the same time. So she's still going to shoot at the other guy not in cover. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so the bad guy shoots. He gets 1 success. She shoots, and she gets 1 success. So both of them are going to shoot each other is how it works in those kinds of scenarios. So both of them take 2 damage, which means the one that she was shooting at does die because she had already shot it earlier. But unfortunately, our buddy guy, who we were hoping would be our buddy guy, is dead. We have seen people die before because we were in the military, but that's kind of a bummer. So he's dead. All right. With that being said, that's the end of combat. So now we're in cover. The guy's dead. I think we're just going to keep shooting. All right. So we go to the beginning of combat, take cover. We don't have to take... Oh, she was in cover, so actually she doesn't get shot. Our lady's fine. But she is broken down. She was unable to handle her fear. Oh, I forgot to roll. What happens to her? Boom. she loses her drive. So she just kind of shuts down. She falls down on the ground. She's still behind cover, and she just starts bawling. So she's basically lost at this point, and we're fighting this last guy on our own. So how it works now is basically, since it's down to 1-1 in solo play, you actually do player-facing roles in duels. So what we do is we will roll to shoot the bad guy. So we roll 8 total. Because we aren't going to pick up the rifle because that takes a little bit of time, and he would get to shoot at us for free. So 8. We got 1 success. If you get at least 1 success, but fewer than required, we both deal our own weapon damage. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to push the roll. Oh, I forgot to roll my stress dice that time. Never mind, my stress dice was 2 successes. So I will be the only one who deals damage, but I think I'm going to push the roll anyways. Because, technically I should be at 2 stress, actually, because we got shot at last time, which is going to increase our stress. So hold on. We're actually at stress 2, which means I need to roll another stress. Okay, it's nothing. But I don't know that I want to re-roll a stress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we really need to take this guy out, so I'm going to take an additional point of stress. We're going to go up to 3 stress, which is bad. Stress is very dangerous in this game, very bad, and it can get you killed because we might mess up. All right, we did get another success, and we did not get any mess ups. So 1 success is going to go toward his cover. Then we got 2 successes. So only I'll deal damage, and each extra success adds 1 damage. So that's going to be a total of 3 damage. So we are going to kill the guy. So now the threat is done. Since the threat is done and taken care of, our ability will trigger our keep your eye on the ball, and we actually get to relieve our stress 1. So I will change that back to 2. All right. So Roger's dead, shot in the face, which is unfortunate. However, the other guy there who's wounded, we can actually try and do a basic thing. So he has a severe internal bleeding. We can do basic medical gear to try and save him. Otherwise, he's going to die in a few hours. So what happens is we will roll. Okay, we're going to try and stabilize. So basic medical gear involves things a field medic would carry with them in a bag. Scalpels, bandages, basic meds, disinfectants, and other similar objects. If you do not have basic medical gear, you cannot create it. You need real medical equipment. Okay, so that's good. We do have some. When a friend is broken, someone else could give you first aid. This requires a medicine roll. It only takes a couple of seconds of in-game time. If the roll is successful, you get back on your feet. You still suffer from the critical injury, but you're not broken anymore. You regain 1 health point, and each extra success heals an additional 1 health point. If there is no one to give you first aid, or if they fail their skill roll, you are broken for D6 minutes. Okay, so we have 2 in empathy, and we have 2 medicine, and we have 2 stress. So we're going to roll a total of 6 dice, plus the basic medical gear gives us an additional medicine point. So we're going to roll all those dice. We got 2 successes. So we are going to bandage up the other soldier that's there, and we're going to heal him back to 2 health. Let me keep track of that. All right. And his name is, let me see here. We're just going to make up a name for him. We're just going to call him John. We're going to call him John Turley. Sure, whatever. All right. Let me write that down. John Turley and Kate Wilson. Okay, so All right, so we get John all fixed up. Since we succeeded on our medicine check versus his critical injury, he will be healed of that. He is gonna have weeks of recovery, so we roll 1d6 weeks worth of recovery. Oh, 6 weeks. So it's gonna be 6 weeks before he can basically do anything. And during that time, he will have a -2 on all his dice rolls. So here's what's going to happen. So she is just bawling. She's lost it. She's cradling, or Kate is cradling the soldier's head in her arms. Well, what's left of his head, anyways. There's blood all over her. She's crying. We're like, hey, me and the other guy are going to try and get her out of there. So I turn to her. I say, hey, I know this is rough. It's no good. But we got to get out of here. Like, this is bad. Come with us. Come with us. So we're going to roll. Technically, I could probably do leadership or manipulation. Neither of which I have any points in. And I've only got 2 empathy. So it's going to be 2 empathy, 2 stress. And we're going to try and get her to come with us using that. We got 2 successes and no mess-ups. Wow, I don't think we've rolled a mess-up yet. Maybe we rolled 1. Oh, we did roll 1. We had to handle our fear that one time. But so we convince her. We're like, we got to go. We got to go. I grab the rest of their supplies they have with them. So they have, let me see what they have with them. Look back at it. They have an assault rifle, pistols, knives, 12 rations, and survival gear. So we are going to help them up, and I'm going to help get them out and we're going to try and get to the car. I'm going to say, because it's threat level 2, actually we're going to go up to the dead guys, and we're going to actually scavenge really quick, I think. Oh, no, I don't know. There's a lot of zombies around. Or the dead around. I mean, right now it's just threat level 2. So as long as we don't mess up, we'll be fine. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. So we're actually going to try and scavenge stuff from the bad guys. So we're going to roll a survival check, I believe is what it is. So we roll 6 dice, plus our 2 stress. And we're going to try and see what kind of gear that they have. Oh, boy. Well, we did roll a mess up, but we did get a success. So when you succeed, you get 1 additional ration for each extra success. Otherwise, you roll on the scavenging table. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to roll on the scavenging table really quick, which, of course, I don't have that in my notes, I don't think. But I should be able to find it here really quick. Here we go. Scavenging. So it's going to be a 4, 3, 6. 4, 3, 6. 4, 3, 6. Boo, 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 boo. 4, 3, 6. We find a chocolate Santa and a thermos with cold mulled wine. So we find 1 ration worth of food. So we find an additional ration. So we're going to have 12 from them, plus we had 1 on us, plus an additional. So that's a total of 14 different rations that we have with us now. However, we mess up. So we're going to roll the messing up oracle. It's going to be a 34. 34 is me or an ally is hurt. So we're going to say that, like, we start ruffling through their pockets and stuff, and as we do, we're trying to, like, find anything good, and we end up putting our hand into one of their pockets, and guess what? They got something sharp in their pockets. They got a little, like, stiletto knife or something that stabs into our hand, and we end up taking 1 point of damage, so we only have 2 health left. Now, earlier, we did not get shot because we were in cover, and I didn't take that into account, so we're still fine. But now, we're going to get out of there. So we're not going to take any of the other supplies from the bad guys, just because I just don't think we have enough hands. With the rifle, which I believe ups our encumbrance 1, plus helping carry the guy and all the extra rations, as well as what else did they have? Oh, the survival gear. That's going to fill up our last slot um, of stuff. Because I think Kate is too lost to carry much. Oh, hey, look, it's pretty much time to end the stream. All right, so we're going to get them all in the little truck that we got, the little vehicle, as well as, oh, we also did kill the guys, and they did say they had gas. So because we did succeed on our survival check, I'm actually going to say that, actually, I'm going to say we don't find because we would have done a survival check looking for the gas. So instead of the rations, so we only have 13 rations that we found. So instead of finding the rations, we find the gas. We grab the gas, we pull it out, and when we do, we like cut ourselves on, like, we'll say it's in like a trash can or something they were hiding it in, and we cut our hand on the lid, which kind of works because look, I cut up my hand on Saturday. But anyways, so we end up getting the gasoline as well. So gasoline. So we dump the gasoline into the truck, and we make our way to back to our haven. So we drive back to our haven, and when we get there, all right, solo play. We embark on a run, engage with the challenge. We did that. So our challenge, let's go to our challenge sheet. So the challenge is still going to be low gasoline, but have vehicle. Yeah. So next time we might go looking for some more gas, or maybe we will do something else. But we're going to drive back to our haven. So we return to our haven, earn experience, and take some well-deserved rest. So what's going to happen is we make it back to the haven. We go back inside, and I'm like, hey, we need to clean off a bed. We got a guy who's wounded. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I found some guy out there. He was wounded. And then I also found somebody else who she's having a rough time. So Kate is just a blubbering mess. We get Kate inside. We get the other guy inside, John. And they are now our new NPCs that we have with us. So let me take a look at my Haven sheet. No, that's not it. Character sheet. No, where did I put them? So I'll put all their stats and everything into all my different things. Oh, NPC survivors, here it is. So I will put all their stuff in. They've joined our Haven. They haven't really joined willingly, but they've joined in a way. I mean, I guess we kind of saved them, which is nice. Oh, our swarm level, our threat level are gone, so we don't have to worry about those. So threat meter and swarm size, we'll take those off really quick. Boop. All right, so we do still have our stress, but our NPC anchor is still alive. So how stress works is if you're able to spend like 1 day with food and safety, or it's not even a day, it's like a night. You know, basically if you sleep, you're able to get rid of all your stress. So we've made it back to our haven. We're going to say that over the night, you know, we're going to be able to get rid of our stress, and we're going to recover. We've saved them. We will see what ends up happening with Kate and our new survivor, John, which is exciting. But again, it's just the one of you watching. But I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 to 8:30, probably a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll definitely look up this, your Discord. I'm going to copy that right now, and I'll get it all. But yeah, I'll add you on Discord. Maybe I'll make like a little Discord for it. That way anybody else who wants to join will be able to see that. But yeah, very cool. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this. You kind of have to make up a lot, but I'm okay with that. It's good practice, and the more I do it, the better it'll get. So anyways, so yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me. We'll see what happens next time to Steven. And oh, the other thing is, you get to heal 1 point of health if you eat and have a day worth of rest. So we are going to heal as well. I forgot to mention that. And we did bring back a lot of rations, survival gear. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna do a bunch of looking between today and tomorrow to see exactly what all that stuff does. And yeah, ought to be a lot of fun times. I'm excited for it. Thanks for joining me. It's been a blast. Again, my name's Evan. I'm gonna be doing this Tuesday through Friday. And yeah, if you have any questions about like how the system works or anything, just ask. But thanks for playing or participating, I guess is a better word for it. I had a lot of fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.